Coming up on the show, Marianne Vos talks to us in London about the launch of her grassroots women's cycling initiative. We catch up with reigning world champion Lizzie Armistead about how the Worlds were won. We head over to Belgium to meet some of the stars of the cyclocross world. Ellen van Looy provides us with this month's Vox Diary. And we get Helen Wyman's top tips for surviving the European winter. Hi everybody, welcome to the show. We are here at a really exciting launch for a really cool new initiative. Laura, why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
Okay, so this is called Stronger. It's all about connecting the grassroots of the sport with the very top professionals. I've seen some of the pro riders in there, some of the very best in the world. Let's take a look. So Marit, tell me, what is Stronger all about?
So with Stronger we want to connect the professionals and the grassroots. We want to create a stage, make cycling accessible. We want to tell stories and share our passion for cycling so that everybody in the world can take it up.
Hopefully meet Marianne Vos, all those famous ladies, and support the initiative about getting more women out on the roads.
So look who I just bumped into. Alex, bro, why are you here?
Just supporting women's cycling, really. I think I speak on behalf of a lot of the men's pro peloton that we don't see any reason why there shouldn't be sort of much more equality for men's and women's cycling.
I'm new to cycling, 3 years, and I'm a mature cyclist because I'm nearly 50. So with the encouragement of seeing what other people are doing in cycling, I just want to see more and get more people on the road for bikes.
The woman at the forefront of the Stronger initiative is 3 times world champion and Olympic gold medalist Marianne Vos, who joined us earlier in the day.
Yeah, I'm really happy we're here today with Stronger for the launch of Stronger. Let's share our experiences from pro to grassroots, from recreational rider to the best riders in the world, and from BMX to road, all disciplines. Let's see if we can start a community. As a little girl, I started cycling because of my brother and my father. They were in cycling and I joined them to the local club. I didn't really think about the differences between boys and girls on the bike, but I felt some differences later. Women had less opportunities in cycling, less races, not that many teams, and not that many girls that raced pro. As a kid, I didn't even think there was a possibility for me to be a pro athlete. And later that possibility came, and now I'm a full-time hobby cyclist, as I call myself. As an athlete, there will be a year or there will be a period that you're out with some struggles, with an injury. So I'll see this as the first setback. And it was difficult in the beginning because you're out and you see the rest is continuing, is going on, and you're just need to wait. But yeah, I've accepted it, and I know maybe I needed it. Well, 2016 is an important year with the Rio de Janeiro Olympics, but for me the most important thing now is to get fit, and if I'm fit and ready, then I know I'll be good enough in Rio, but that's later. First, healthy again.
Part of the Stronger ethos is to celebrate the heroes in women's cycling. So we asked some of the guests who their sheroes would be.
Everyone's got a different story. Everyone does a different discipline, and I love doing them all. So I just follow girls from all different types of discipline.
I have a whole load of sheroes, and they are all the Stronger ambassadors. So I can't pick just one.
Jet from the Gladiators.
Why?
I grew up with Jet. She's amazing. She was a gymnast. She's wonderful.
For me, a hero is a girl who just follows their dream, and it doesn't matter who it is. If I get an inspirational talk from a girl that really loves to ride a bike, then she's a hero for me.
Thanks for joining us at the Stronger launch. Now let's see how the Worlds were won.
Hello, Voxwomen are here in London today to talk to world champion Lizzie Armistead about how the worlds were won. We've got a computer in front of us here replaying the very best bits of the race, and Lizzie is going to talk through them all. Let's start at the start, I suppose. How were you feeling on the start line?
The most nervous I've ever been for a race, I think. It was close to that Olympic feeling. I remember on the Olympic start line having the shakes, and it was pretty similar at the World Championships. I knew I could win it, so I was very nervous.
And the game plan before, talk me through it.
The game plan was something I'd thought about since I recce'd it. So I went to see it in June before the Philadelphia World Cup, and I went round the course and changed some of my training quite a bit so that I would have that final kick up Gouverneur Street where I attacked, and then again a sprint for the finish. So I practiced doing repeated efforts. I think if you watch me going up the cobble climb, you'll see that I'm never out of the top 5 going into it, and that saved me so much energy throughout the race.
Is that a psychological boost as well, knowing you're still up there and you're ticking along and everything's going to plan?
Yeah, I think so. It's a fine line between not showing your cards too much. I think sometimes I ride at the front too consistently, so people rely on me to close gaps and chase breaks and things. But in that kind of course, that kind of technical course, you needed to be up front, and that's something that I've always been able to do, so it's one of my strengths.
Do you actually enjoy the cobbled sections?
I just know that it's just such a big advantage point for me, being able to ride the cobbles. Yeah, I love riding the cobbles, especially when they're wet, because genuinely I know that I'm on the best tyres, I'm on the best wheels, and that gives me a huge advantage over any of the girls who are feeling nervous or who can't match my speed on the cobbles.
So with 20k to go, we had a breakaway of 9 riders with a minute advantage. What are your thoughts at this point?
It was something that I expected, so I wasn't sort of caught off guard. I knew that could potentially happen, and I knew that I would be isolated. So it was about keeping cool and playing poker and waiting for which team to start chasing. Eventually it was the Dutch who cracked first and got on the front and brought it back, but I was pretty confident that they would do that.
How much discipline do you need as a rider not to start picking up the pace and doing some of that work yourself? A younger rider, less experienced, who wants to get out there and fight may have jumped sooner.
Yeah, I was continuously coaching myself out of it. I was like, stay off the front, don't show your cards. You know, I was really talking myself through it, because the temptation to get on the front and just smash it and bring it all back together was massive, but I knew that in order to win, I really had to be willing to lose.
Do you think others in the group looked to you as well as somebody who would close that gap?
Yeah, I think they did. I definitely felt people's eyes on me, watching me when I would close it, but I think they started to realise with the way I was riding that I was riding defensively, and I didn't think like the Italians would gamble on Scandalara or the Dutch on Amy Peters. They weren't their kind of leaders going into it, so I was pretty confident they'd bring it back together. I did make one move with about a lap and a half to go on 23rd Street just to try and bring the back gap a little bit closer, and I think that did sort of put the initiative into the peloton a bit.
So with around 3k to go, 2 of the riders still had around 15 seconds advantage, but the Dutch were up in front pushing, and you as well were starting to make some moves. What were you thinking at that point?
Oh, I knew that the race was all going to come back together, and I could execute my plan going into the race. I knew that I wanted a small group in the final. I knew that I wanted to attack at Gouverneur Street and bring it into a small sprint. So I kind of was rubbing my hands together, you know. It's like, right, it's all coming back together. I was just so fortunate that everything I expected to happen happened tactically. So I wasn't worried at this point. You know, when I'm stuck on the front here and I'm having to pull them to the left-hand side of the road and no one's giving me anything, flicking the elbow, and no one's coming past me, I thought, right, okay, well, I did this in Plouay, I can do it again. Stuck it to one side of the road and waited for them to come at me. It's funny watching it now because I'm still in the tops. I need to get in my drops. I'm like, Lizzie, get in your drops. They're coming. So, yeah, it's weird to see it. I get in the drops just at the right time, and Anna takes it on, which worked out well for me. I got in a slipstream just for a short amount of time and then pulled out to the right of her, and I couldn't find the right gear, so I was a little bit under-geared. But yeah, that's all right. Still won. Looking at it, I can see that Anna probably did one of the best sprints she's done this season. She gave me a good run for my money, and you know, she's not a real sprinter. She won the Giro this year, so she's a climber effectively, and that was a good sprint. But that's always the way it happens at the end of a World Championships. It's just about who's strong and who's fresh. It's not about who's fast anymore.
Can you remember what was going through your head or any of the emotions you felt in that moment?
I think I was just in absolute shock. Like, it was like dropping off the edge of a cliff, you know? Like, I'd got to that point and then I just didn't anticipate anything else. So it was just a massive shock, yeah.
It looks like you're in tears as well.
Yeah, I think I might have shed a few tears, yeah. It's not like me, I don't cry very often. Oh, look, there's my auntie and uncle. Yeah, they're not, well, my mum's cousin, but Auntie Pat and Uncle Bob made the trip over to America with that big Go Lizzie sign. So
they got on TV.
They got on TV, they were so happy. But yeah, just to have the rainbow jersey and the medal was, it's just the pinnacle in cycling. Like in sport, it's the Olympics, but in cycling, it's the rainbow jersey. It's what everyone wants.
How important is this victory in the wider sense as well?
I think it's important for publicity of female cyclists in this country. I think we've got a really strong tradition of female cyclists, and it's nice to highlight that by saying that I'm the 6th ever British world champion, but the 4th woman. So that says a lot about the female tradition in this country, and I think it's going from strength to strength.
You're in the rainbow jersey. What's next?
Well, I've just got back from holidays. The off-season is coming to an end, unfortunately. I'll be back on my bike in about a week, so just kind of get a flight home on Friday. I've not actually been home since before the World Championships, so I'm looking forward to unpacking my suitcase.
And have you had a chance to look back on this season and really reflect? National champion, World Cup champion and world champion. It couldn't really have gone much better.
No, I only missed one goal, Flanders. So I guess that's what will drive me on in winter training, Flanders and Rio. It's been a really good season. I'm very proud of it.
And the new world champion from Great Britain, Elizabeth Armistead.
Now, don't go anywhere. We'll be back after the break.
Welcome to the Voxwomen cycling show.
If I go for something, I go really for it, and I want to do it perfect. And I don't like if I'm doing not 100%, and it's quite hard sometimes to do it like that. And that makes it really interesting to see till where you can go, and are you able to do more than you could before, and that makes it really nice to every time make a new goal and see if you can do it and if you can reach a higher level of yourself. I'm also a person who really likes to work with a team and to do it together, and I'm really great in the team and really nice teammates around me who have the same, and we really work together for a goal of a team or one person in the team. It depends, of course, of the race. And like in the peloton, I'm not always the sweetest and I push a bit or something like that. But for my teammates, I think they agree that I'm loyalty. So yeah. I like to be around people and enjoy also the life, and it's really hard during the season to see friends, and it's really nice to go out and after a season or having a dinner or lunch the meeting or something like that. I think the coolest was going to Poland. We went with a few teammates to our teammate Kasia, and we had a really nice evening up of a mountain with a fire and barbecue stuff. Her mom and dad arranged everything. It was so great, Polish style. So also some vodka. But it was really cool, and we decided to sleep there in a tent up the mountain, and then we woke up and it was all cloudy around, actually kind of rain, and but it was really nice, and a bit out of some people's comfort zone and get to know your teammates in a different way. It's really cool.
This month's Vox Diary is coming from Cyclocross star Ellen van Looy.
Hi there, my name is Ellen van Looy and I'm really happy today. I'm on the bike again after 4 days. I was sick last Friday. I had a flu in my stomach. I'm not gonna give you any more details, but it was gross. Now next week there's a new one, a new race in Boom, also a nice one I think, but I don't know what to expect from the course or from my own condition. With the sickness from Friday, I have to be careful, and so I go on the rollers inside. But at least I have my pretty view of my garden. See, nice, and I can watch TV on the other side of you guys. So see you maybe in Boom or at Koppenberg. Bye!
While the road season is winding down, cyclocross is only just getting started. Cola's Helen Wyman gives us her top tips for surviving the winter season in Northern Europe.
My name's Helen Wyman, and these are my top tips to surviving a winter in Northern Europe. First tip, appropriate clothing. And we can all go out and go, oh, it's a bit chilly, I'll just put an extra layer on. But really you need to do the arm test. This is the professional way, that you actually stick your arm out the window and you go, oh, yeah, that probably needs a thermal today. But you should always have in your wardrobe waterproofs, thermals. Try and find the best clothing you can and have one really good piece which you know you can rely on to keep you warm and get you home. I have shoe warmers and shoe dryers, which are fantastic. These are actually ski boot ones, and you just put them straight in your shoe and then you plug them in the wall, and yeah, not very long, and they're perfectly dry and warm. My second tip for surviving the winter would be to have alternative training on standby. It's cold and it's wet, and so go out on your mountain bike, go out on your cross bike, do your training off-road or do your training inside on a turbo trainer. My third tip would be to have a goal for your season. If you're just out to enjoy yourself and have fun, that's a great goal, but if you're out to do a sportif or you're out to race or there's something which is really important to you, have that goal and work back from there. Tip number 4 would be to actually set yourself a reward, whether that's a bucket load of chocolate or a holiday in Florida or anything that you want. It should be something that you know you can look forward to and something which you know you can keep focused on. And again, come February, when it is really tough to keep training and keep motivated, I know I'm going on holiday to America with some of my best friends. I'm really excited. And my final tip is, if you are a road rider, the winter is your off season, so use that time to catch up with family and friends. For me, I live like a hermit for most of January, and so it's nice in my off season to go visit family and friends and that kind of thing. And even here in Belgium, we have English friends that we go round to their house and have dinner once in a while and take out on a Sunday and things like that.
Welcome to Ronsa. Voxwomen are here for the very start of the cyclocross season to find out what this mad, crazy sport is all about. Can you go through some of the basics for us and give us a sort of how-to in cyclocross?
Okay, cyclocross is off-road on a road bike with knobbly tyres. If you do it at amateur level, you can do it on a mountain bike as well. And it's just a fun sport, lots of different terrain, grass, mud, sand, a little bit of gravel, there's ups, there's downs, there's running.
A lot of ups, up runnings today. It's a really tough, hard course. A lot of turns, a lot of muddy sections. It's gonna be a big spectacle today, I think. We are coming to a really muddy section, so we can't ride the bike, so we have to carry them. We have to carry them on the shoulder, so we just easy put the bike and lay it really soft on the shoulder, take the handlebars and then start running as fast as we can.
Then you've got to get back on the bike as well.
Yeah, of course. Then we are all out of the muddy section, so we just take the bike over here or here, put them nice and slowly on the ground, and then jump up and start riding as fast as we can.
You can have mud, but you can also have sand or really fast. So it's different every race. The brakes are different, so it have to be bigger because we ride with wide tubes. They are 32 millimeter.
There's always a bit of like, you know, elbows to elbow, and there's always like some crashes, and I think it's really a lot of fun. Every course is different, and you can always expect different battles on different types of courses.
Someone once called it steeplechase on a cross bike, but I think it's probably more just fun.
Who are the main contenders for you today, the main rivals?
Sanne Kant will want to win the race.
A Belgian champion, Sanne Kant.
She won pretty much nearly every race last year, so she's obviously always going to be in form for this race.
I think Nikki Harris was really good last week.
Nikki Harris, the British rider, is obviously super strong, and she's won this 2 years ago, so she'll be wanting to come back and get another good result here.
So then you've got Ellen, my teammate.
But also the Belgium Ellen van Looy.
Then Helen Wyman.
You know, Helen Wyman. There's all quite a few good girls here, so I guess they're all contenders.
Of course, every female rider here today is ready to win, but a big part of this event is this: the family festival feel, the chips, the hamburgers, and of course, the Belgian beer. It's a real party atmosphere. You've got the beer for you guys, you've got chips for the kids.
Well, it's a happening for the whole family, and we like to see the sport, and the atmosphere here is much more interesting for us.
So what brings you guys here today?
We support some teams, Helen Wyman, for instance, James Bragg, Belgian riders as well.
It's a big party over here. It's special because for women it's special because it's start of the big cyclocross season in Belgium. So, but yeah, as you see, a lot of people, a lot of racers. It's from now on all weekend the big party in Belgium cyclocross.
I think it's just really spectator friendly as well, and like I said before, every single course is different. So a spectator can come to a race like today and see you really up close on every part of the course. You know, they can just run 1 minute away and they can see you somewhere else, and I think it's just a fun sport, really.
After first lap, I felt very good, and I believe I will be in front, minimum on the podium. So hey, I am small and I have a short legs, and yeah. It is the same for everybody the running, but I'm not good runner, so it was a little bit surprise. And hey, I'm happy it was first. It is something more than I waited, yeah.
Well, that's all we've got time for from Ronsa for our very first taste of cyclocross. It's been an absolutely fantastic event. Don't forget, follow us at Voxwomen on Twitter and Facebook, and tune in next month for more from the world of women's cycling.
Thanks for watching Voxwomen Cycling Show. Thank you.